Okay, day 31, we're going to try and recreate both of those user interfaces using f-strings. There's that little trick from the last video we learned, which we're going to try and put into place to build an f-string in an f-string and see how things go. Okay, first thing is going to be our music app, and there's a couple of changes here that we need. We need red, white, and blue. So what I'm going to quickly do is write a subroutine. What I'm going to do is copy this line now because I'm basically rewriting that. White should be 0 in there. Then it was blue was the other color I needed. This just makes it a little bit easier for me to deal with. So then when I'm constructing colors, I should just print little bits out, and that should be a little bit nicer. In fact, actually I might change this a little bit because I don't actually need to print them out. What I need to do is return them. So what I'm going to do is return the actual color code straight in line. So let's call the title. Let's make it an F string so we get things a little bit easier. And it should be a red equals. So I'm going to do my curly braces and I'm going to do color change red within that. Now, let me just check that because we might need to make that single quotes within that. Yes. So we can't use double quotes within double quotes. So we're going to use single quotes in there to call red, and that should work fine. An equal sign. That's going to be followed by a white version of the same and a blue version of the same. We need to turn it back to our regular color, which in this example is yellow, so I do need to add an elif color equals yellow to that function there. And let's look up the yellow color, see what number that is. Yellow's 33. So once I've got that, what I want is to set it to yellow. Type in music app, and then I need blue, red, and white. So I'm going to copy these in the opposite order. Blue, white, and red. Now we'll just print that out to test it for the meantime, just to see if all the colors are right. And they look all right to me, but it's not centered yet. So if I make that an F string, I can put title in curly braces and I can apply the centering code to it. So it doesn't seem to want to work there. Now here's a fun problem. What's happening here is that the center align command is not working on this string. Now, the only thing I can think of that could be causing that is the fact that we're using color changing directly in the string. So the center align's not really working because there's a lot of stuff to fit into the centered position. So in this case, there's only one thing for it really. Bunch of spaces. Which I know is a little bit of a cheat, but sometimes it's got to be done. The next step is to print out our emoji. Oh, we needed to print out some white, didn't we? So let's make that an F string. Let's place within that then the color change for white code. There we go. Let's have a look at that. Looks good to me. Now we probably need to put a tab in there, because if you want to line up the word Radio Gaga with the word Queen, we want to use the tab underneath as well. Make it an F string. Let's put tab in first, then it's got to be yellow. So let's take the color change for yellow code, pop that in there, and then put the artist. There you go. You notice those two things are lined up. That's because a tab indents the same size each time. Okay, now we're going to bring in some values. I'm going to have previous, which is previous. I'm going to have next, which is next. And I'm going to have pause, which is pause. The reason I'm doing that is because what I want is to use an F string to align these. Right, I need my white code. So make it white. Then bring in previous and try and center align it at 35. Left aligned. There we go. So we'll do exactly the same thing. Actually, I'm doing this now. I wonder if the same thing would have worked for our other one. Never mind. I don't think I've got green in the subroutine, so I need to go and add one. Let's check what the color for green was. Green was 32. That one had to be center aligned. And then the final one is going to be our pause button, which was in pink or maybe purple. Right align it. And this one's next. This one's pause. I'm going to add my purple code up here. Which is 35. And there we go. That's not bad. That's a reasonably good facsimile of where we were. How about our next one then? Let's print a few gaps. So our first part is welcome to, which is center aligned. So let's make that a variable. Print that out then. Make sure we're printing in white first. Let's get that code. Text. Center aligned 35. Let's check that. Looks good to me. And the nice thing about this now is I can just reuse the same variable. So this time I want to print it in blue. Looking good. Right align this, make it yellow. We might need to reconsider this one. So you'll see what happened here is it looks like it's left aligned, but what's happened is it's filled the first line and then gone down from there. So what we need to do is turn this into 3 parts. If I do this, you'll see that it is right aligned to the 35 point, which is over there. So let's go in and let's add the next line. And then the same thing again at the bottom. And we should have all 3 lines right aligned then. There we go. Okay, we need red in the center. So central line was this one. It should be red. Followed by then a username and a password prompt. Now they should be inputs really, shouldn't they? So let's do that. Let's do make it an F string so we can customize it. We need to make it white. And we need to center align it 35. That should be okay. Let's have a look. Here we go. Waiting for our username there. And we'll do exactly the same thing for the password underneath. And once we've entered our username, we get our password in the center as well. And we're done.